Hello and welcome to yet another week of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown. We once again have India's Last Hope versus Mindbender in the finals. It is a rematch of the last week's finals where Mindbenders will be planning their revenge. Last Hope showed a dominant performance last week and they won the match, won the grand finals with a scoreline of 2-0. Uh, it was a match full of fast paced retakes and extremely fast attack executes where Mindbender had no answers for their strategies. Let's see if Mindbenders will be on their A game today with our first map, Lotus. If I remember correctly, the scoreline for Lotus in last week's grand finals was 13-5 in the favor of India's Last Hope. Will this time be any different? Alright, our agents are logged in. Last Hope going with Fade, Clove, Chamber, Neon, and Jet. And Mindbenders choosing Breach, Reyna, Cypher, Jet, and Clove. India's Last Hope begins on the defender side. And Mindbenders will be attacking with our first pistol round starting in 20 seconds. Seems like a control, but India's Last Hope has taken double control. Flank coming in. Jion has already 2 to his name.
One enemy remaining.
And once again, it seems like the man advantage is in favor of India's Last Hope. It's a 3v1 with Spike yet to be planted. Karthik makes a last-ditch effort but cannot convert the pistol. India's Last Hope yet again with a fast pace, control and a flank, instant flank from Seaside, get the first pistol round. Yet again, it seems like players are readying up for an A hit.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Easy eco round for India's Last Hope. They have lost 2 players and not a lot of guns. It seems like they're gonna knife, and they get the knife Juggy onto Dank Flame. That's a humiliating way, but yet it was an eco. Let's go into the bonus round. Mindbenders will have a full buy going into this attack, their first buy of the game. They are 2-0 down, and it seems like we are getting flashbacks from last week. This time they have waited for an aggression on A, but Genesis and Lavish get early picks. A spray that could not connect, and it's a 4v1 yet again.
Who's got the snacks?
3-0, and India's Last Hope win their bonus with a perfect control for A rubble. They are not giving up any space. They have instant flanks coming on from C. Xion has done a perfect job at flanking at the right time. The score line is a little not too good for Mindbenders, but let's go for the full buy round for India's Last Hope. India's Last Hope has guns and they are pushing. They are not afraid. Karthik gets his kill, but two guys on flank. Oh my god.
One enemy remaining.
Two clean shots, and there is a clutch from Karthik. Mindbenders gets their first round, coming back from a full buy, losing the bonus, winning the bonus. India's Last Hope had momentum, they had guns, and they lost an eco round, a half buy to Mindbenders, getting their first round on the board. India's Last Hope seems to have abandoned their aggressive A approach, giving up the site, leaving it to Xion. Flash twice, goes safe, holding an off angle, and goes down to Akshijit's knives. Juggy is the only person alive in the site. Doesn't seem like Lavish is gonna get his kill, and he doesn't. Juggy with a Bucky and a Dream 1v4.
Spike planted.
Complete stun. Spam to finish him off. 3-2. This time Lotus seems a lot more competitive as compared to the last time. Both teams have shown determination and reason why they're in the grand finals. But it's too early to say right now. India's Last Hope has been pushed on to 2 Sheriffs and 2 Vandals with a almost full buy from Mindbenders. Tags outside of B. Karthik gets yet another opening, but gets traded out.
Spike down, C. One enemy remaining.
Xion gets 2 kills with Headhunter and cleans it up.
I would apologize to them, but alas, they are dead.
India's Last Hope converting a almost eco with only 2 Vandals, winning that round with a good anchor on almost all sides. Mindbenders are back to strategizing and back to figuring out what the plan is. It seems like a push. Marsky already gets a kill from the smokes. Goes down to Tank Flame. Genesis on the flank. It is a 3v2.
Last player standing.
Lavish pushes the smoke. Gets traded out. Genesis for the last kill. A 5th round for India's Last Hope. They're quickly getting their momentum back. Mindbenders going for a C execute this time. Genesis is the only person on site. Lavish and Genesis, will they be able to stop the push from Mindbenders? It's an aggressive take. Genesis goes up, gets the first, gets the second, third, fourth. Oh, it's an ace for Genesis. 29 HP and Juggy steals the ace from Genesis. An aggressive push to shut down any hopes for Mindbenders getting back on the scorecard this early, breaking the momentum. No chances. India's last hope wins their sixth in a dominant fashion. 4K from Genesis to seal the deal. And Mindbenders hoping to go C again. Careful approach. Flank early, flank. Side is all 5 from Mindbender in the side. A smoke combo, nade combo. Marsai gets the first kill. And a 3-2 division. Marsai and Genesis close out the round for India's last hope. The spike could not even go down. They had a sight, but they could not use that to convert. Spike could not go down and they could not even defend. There were no chances. India's last hope was just too fast in taking back control of the side they left open.
Down A.
Traded out. Gion gets Genos, Juggy gets Akshi.
Last player standing.
1v3 again. And Marsai seals the deal. 8-2 after the 10th round, and it's just the repeat of the last week. I don't think we're gonna see anything different. India's last hope are yet the same aggressive team.
Let's make them dance.
They are not giving up any space easily and taking back control as soon as possible.
Player standing.
A brawl at the spawn right outside of B ends in less than 30 seconds. And we're already to the last round of the half with a scoreline of 9-2. It just seems like I should observe from free cam. There's no point in concentrating on players. Kills all over the map every second. An ult and a push on a rubble. Space has been given up. Genesis gets Karthik and ult.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
But even 2 ults in the round could not help.
Switching sides.
India's last Mindbenders to win this round. It was a easy hold for India's last hope. They had no shot. They had no chances. dominant half by India's last hope. 10-2 scoreline. They need just 3 rounds to seal this map and get control or get the first map under their belt. Two beautiful kills by Jian. Side is with India's last hope. Spike still outside A. Cypher in a 1v2 against Lavish and Xeon. Down to 95 HP. Lavish is holding.
One enemy remaining.
One down. It's a 1v1. And Jian is gonna clutch it. This man is not gonna give up the round. He's not gonna give the momentum to Mindbenders. There was a glimmer of hope for Mindbenders starting this half strong with a pistol win, but Jian shuts that down, not giving up the 1v3 clutch to Cypher. Scoreline 11-2. Buy round from India's last hope. Outlaws and judges. Is Cypher gonna stop this rush? It doesn't seem like. India's last hope already has the side.
Spike planted.
Genos gets traded out by Lavish. Akshit on the flank gets one. Karthik gets one. It's a 1v2 again.
Last player standing.
Lavish in a 1v1 clutch. Karthik wins the force from Mindbenders for a third round on the scorecard. It was a fast execute. India's last hope got control of C, planted the spike, but could not hold it from the pinch. Perfect execute retake from Mindbenders. A defuse for the third round. But is that enough to get them their map win? Only the bonus will tell. Mindbenders are not giving up anything. They're anchoring the site. No early peaks, no scary peaks. Pivot on to B. Genos gets the first kill. Genesis with an insane, nasty Bucky shot. Cypher gets Genesis a 3v1 with Jian, only person from India's last hope alive, with just a headhunter. Gets the first, gets the second. TP's out, has no bullets remaining against Karthik's Judge. He has the spike, he has to plant. Judge upgraded to Vandal, and Karthik closes the round out. Their fourth round win. It seems like Mindbenders are catching on to their momentum. A pistol win, a pistol loss, but followed instantly by a force win and a bonus win.
You want to play?
Have
Let's
forced
play.
India's last hope into an eco. Xion on lurk with a ult, while India's last hope gears up for a C fake. Genos is the only person who rotated.
Spike down A.
Karthik in a stun takes out Genesis on ult, but that will not be enough. Lavish is not gonna get a kill. It's a 3v2.
One enemy remaining. Last
Dang
player
Flame is
standing.
the only person alive. 1v1 with the spike down. He has to take down Xion and defuse. Time is not in his favor. Xion is obviously gonna play for time. Dang Flame, even with the kill down, does he have enough time? I don't think he does. Xion has done just enough to get his team to match point.
Match point.
A 12-4 scoreline. They were on an eco, Genesis and Xion on their ults, and have managed to get around. Seal the deal for the match point.
Just sit there, Neon, while she's running.
Match point, a C push from India's last hope. Cypher and Karthik defending the site. Does not get a kill. And it's a brawl. They want to seal the map fast. Genos has a util dump. Cannot defend himself. They don't even want the plant. They just want the round. Akshi tried his best,
Attackers win.
but could not stop the force of India's last hope. A 13-4 scoreline. India's last hope seems to be doing much better than that previous week showing. The final stats read with Genesis a 24-11 KDA. Karthik trying his best with an 18-13 score, but his team let him down. Dang Flame, the second highest fragger with only 11 kills. Akshit with 12 kills, tied on ACS. And let's get ready for the second map. We have all right. we're back to the game. Next map, map 2, Ascent. India's last hope. Will be trying to finish this game with a 2-0 final scoreline. Just like last week, our agents are locked in. Teho, Clove, Deadlock, Jet, and Sage on India's last hope. Breach, Jet, Reina, Cypher, and Clove on Mindbenders. Karthik has once again logged in Reina with Akshit on Jet. Jet going with the duelist comp, hoping to bring in some speed into their attacking composition. On the other hand, we have two sentinels on India's last hope, hoping to lock down both sides and stopping flanks. Pistol round, our first round of Ascent starting in 5. It seems like Mindbenders are going for a B split. Fight outside B, Cypher gets 2. Man advantage on Mindbender, Lavish still holding B main. And Akshit has taken up space on A shot. Shinos and Apiro holding B main, they're not giving up any space. Rotation being called out. Akshit does his job perfectly on the flank, gets a kill. Even if he's fragged out, he sold the fake perfectly. The site is...
The spike.
The spike is down. Mindbenders have played this pistol on Ascent perfectly.
Last player standing.
Lavish down to a 1v2 versus Dang Flame and Cypher. Does not clear his corners. The script this time is much different with Mindbenders sealing and winning the pistol. On Ascent, they managed to sell a perfect fake with Akshit getting 1 kill on his lurk. Their double duelist combo seems to be working on Ascent. But is it just a surprising strategy, or are they pure for revenge? Karthik gets the first kill with a push out on mid. Gets a second. Got little scary there, but these Guardians against Classics. Lavish pushed out, sees Apiro. And the spike is down. Marsai gets 2 outside. And the third one on Dang Flame. It seems like they could not, Mindbenders could not find their way inside A site. Got shut down by a team on Eco. India's last hope. Instantly come back on the scorecard with their Classics and Sheriffs against Guardians. It seems like they're going for the similar fake that they did on the first round, but an aggressive push out on B from Lavish And a smoke spam to probably... Yeah, Akshit also could not get a second kill on his flank. Tankflame gets one.
Player standing.
Shinos is down. Genesis finishing this round. And a second round on the board for India's last hope. If they continue this momentum, I think this is going to be a very short game. Pressure out B again. Lavish holding a tight angle. India's last hope is anchoring the site very well. Karthik is ready for a first peek. He gives up space because of mid-aggression. Genesis is extremely low on 7 HP, heals up. Rotation has been called on to B. Akshit taking down Marsai. Gun being retrieved. Akshit taking down Lavish. And they think that they're gonna hit A. We have Jian locking down A. Juggy rotating to mid. Tankflame is holding
Right
mid,
here.
but the rotation has completely been called. The delay makes them
30
think,
seconds left.
what if it's a B hit? Xian is gonna get caught in timing, wins the
Last player
timing,
standing.
but Chucky could not win the 1v3 clutch. Yet again, mind games from mind benders. Probably we're finally realizing why their name is as such. These tricks, these mid-round calls, these rotations, they're confusing the fast-paced set retakes of India's last hope. They're all over the map right now, India's last hope. And yet again, a slow hold outside B, while Karthik looks for info outside A. Deadlock wall, blocking off any hopes of going A for a while. Genesis waiting for first contact out from Akshit. Wall has come down outside A. Nothing being given up by either teams right now except random spams.
No peeking.
Marsai takes out Karthik, stuck in the deadlock net. 4 people rotated towards A.
30 seconds left.
Genesis is the only person on site. With a one-way wall brawl out
Last
in
player
mid,
standing.
Juggy
Spike
gets
down
2.
mid.
Genos is the only person alive. This time, the slow takes, the slow tricks did not work for Mindbenders. It did not take India's last hope any time to adapt. They quickly understood the slow-paced game that Mindbenders was calling and slowed down their rotates, kept an eye out for flanks, and this time they held their sides perfectly well.
Get out of my way.
And A side push out from Lavi, B side push out from Lavi and Chuggy. They know that the other team is in a half buy. Scattered all outside mids. Chuggy gets Genos. Marsai gets Cypher and Karthik with his knives. And Dang Flames is also down. With Akshit is the only person alive. An anime battle. One out by Marsai. Pulling out a shotty. Jet versus Jet, and Marsai clearly diffs out Akshit, the story of the last, this week and the last. I think India's last hope does not want to wait for Mindbender's slow tricks. They brought the fight out to Mindbenders on B, won their duels, and just steamrolled all over their opponents. Another fast push outside B. Lavish is and that allows Dang Flame to take Lavish side. Jian with a clean 4K shuts down the A push.
I'm taking walks more dangerous than this.
And that is what you call a site anchor. He locked down his site using his nets and his gravity nets very well. Sound sensors, the setup is perfect. And the fragging is perfect as well. This time they have given up the B side. Marsai is just looking out on the scenery. Genesis tried to Grim Ball and could not convert.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3.
Juggy gets his third kill. And Karthik has no way out of this. The util spam. He can do nothing to get out of there. And a 6th round for India's last hope has forced Mindbenders into a timeout. They have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what is working. Even their slow retake, even their slow executes have been shut down by the aggressive push from India's last hope. They just leave one site empty because they trust their retake strategies and push down mid and the other side. And Mindbenders are just being caught helpless. Yet another dominant performance from India's last hope. Back from the timeout, let's see what Mindbenders have cooked up in the last 60 seconds. It seems like they're going for a B push. They're going to be meeting Lavish and Genesis, all ready to handle this push. So aggressive that the tripwire is destroyed literally in a second. And he rotates over to mid with Genesis just enjoying B side. Akshit is waiting for an aggression out of B. Gets Xion. Genesis trades out Marsai. Lavish
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
simply just running and gunning them down with his clean vandal shots.
One downside to being
They
immortal.
force them outside
Can't be
B
dead.
and pushed out mid and A. Just like they've been doing it for the last couple of rounds. They're pushing Mindbenders into a corner and winning out all duels. We're seeing 4Ks every round from someone or else on India's last hope.
Drop in a smoke.
All missiles away.
Last player
Genesis
standing.
gets 1 and Genesis gets 2 from his Grimwall. They have everything. It seems like they have answers to all the problems. They know the map extremely well. It seems like map 1 is repeating, history is repeating, an 8-2 scoreline after the 10th round. Will it also end in a 10-2 half?
Get on with it.
B side is completely empty.
Have one of these.
Lavish tries to get something on the spam, but catches nothing. A free site for Mindbenders, but
Spike
a
planted.
insanely fast retake from India's last hope.
One enemy remaining.
And as you can see, they steamrolled through the site. In less than 10 seconds, the site was taken back from Mindbenders. This trick has been working for them
Last round before the switch.
every time. Just give up the site, let the spike go down, and execute a perfect retake. They have the utilities, they have a Teho, they have a Deadlock. As we can see, they have left B open yet again. Pushing down mid.
Have one of these.
And this time, the spam does not work again. Spam from the opposite side though has done a little bit of damage. Lavish is tagged. Two players waiting outside main for the flank from Genesis. Do not win their duels. Marsai gets the rev. Akshit and Janal are the only players alive. Akshit gets gunned down and gets knifed out by Lavish. A 10-2 half, just like predicted. Only giving a pistol and the 4th round. Mindbender players have struggled to find double digits, whereas Lavish is sitting on a 15-3 scoreline. Utter dominance from India's last hope. India's last hope, gearing for a B hit. They want to take Cypher's side. He's the only player on site. Loses out, wins out on the timing. Apologize, gets a second.
Spike down B.
And so far has done a great job at holding down his side. But Genesis ensures that he fights a little longer for India's last hope, but he cannot guarantee the pistol.
Let them try
Their
to get
tricks have not worked this time, and Mindbenders comes back on the score line on the scorecard with that perfect side hold out on B. Cypher, Epiro, Anchored did a great job on B, getting those 2 kills, with Akshit also pushing out from market. Ten to 3 scoreline. We go out on a B hit again. This time Epiro has been cleared, but he has to vacate, and the site is finally with Mindbender, with India's last hope, even with stronger guns.
Last player standing.
Shinos is the only person alive. We've seen this before. India's last hope,
Planted.
after losing a pistol round, have everything they need to win an eco. Jion did not want to risk it for the knife. Pistol right click, classic right click to seal the deal, win out the eco, and mess up the buy for Mindbenders. India's last hope clearly has a stronger buy with 2 judges on Mindbenders. Akshit finally getting to double digits, but Karthik does not or cannot replicate the same performance as he had on Lotus. Goes down to Marsai's Sheriff. Shenaz gets 1, almost gets the second. Jackie wants to take him down. Jion does. Epiro in a 1v3 cannot do anything, and a match point yet again.
Match point.
A even faster map, a even faster victory than the first map. Lotus was a 13 to 5 scoreline. Ascent is already at a 12 to 3. India's last hope, one more round to win yet another grand finals of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown. Let's see what's cooking outside B. Juggy is literally droning from inside the site. Genos gets 2 with the judge. Karthik is the only person on site. Akshit waiting on CT. Karthik gets 1 with the judge. Marsai shuts Akshit down.
Last player standing.
And Karthik cannot do anything. They did not even have to take the side. They did not have to plant the spike. They just had to hunt down all members of Mindbenders and take them out one by one. 13 to 3, a yet shorter map. Marsai leading the kill count with 17 to 11, Lavish 16-6, Genesis 15-7, Akshit on 10, Juggy and Jion 13-12 respectively, and the rest of Mindbenders trailing behind them. Another grand final of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown goes to India's last hope. Well, if this is how they play, we might see them on a bigger stage someday. But until then, we're signing out. Thank you for joining the stream.